Righto, here we go. Welcome back to another episode of Project Blokes. Thank you for tuning in. Welcome to all our listeners from all over the world in just Rockhampton. We are doing a Mother's Day special. We have one of our three mothers. She made it up today. She braved the storm of a thought of doing a podcast with her son and son-in-law, actually. Poor lady. Bro, Timmy, I'll let you introduce her and we'll kick it off.
Okay, so yeah, we got my mum in with us today, Robin Groundwater. So
hang on, bro. Just gonna have to. That's changed now. Actually, I believe.
Robin Tiny. My apologies.
All good.
Yeah, so Robin Tiny's in here today, and just gonna touch base on what it was like being a mother for our little Mother's Day special podcast here. So, first question, do you expect gifts on Mother's Day?
No, not really. Not really. The biggest gift that I could have on Mother's Day is just to see my children and see them happy and get together and have a drink.
One drink, you reckon, on Mother's Day, or?
Yeah, just one.
Bullshit.
One big one.
Well, I was going to say, I've tipped a few in with you. one big long Mother's Day. I'm at work, actually. I'm going to miss out on the... Yeah. That sucks, eh?
It does.
I'll be working in town, so...
lucky you.
I'm on call, so no drinking for me.
This Sunday. Mum just reckons we're going to do it this Sunday.
Oh, yeah, yep.
So, Mum, we've got some questions for you. Firstly, how are you feeling about all this?
Doing this today?
Yeah.
Well, I was a bit nervous about it because I didn't know what it was all about, but no, I'm all right. I'm pretty cool.
Yeah, cool. So, yeah, today's podcast and interview is just about, it's about actually acknowledging all mothers and seeing as we have mothers, and it's about acknowledging our own mothers. And I guess you guys get to have a bit of a look inside what we do, some of what we do and what goes on. So this is part of what we do at Project Blokes is interviews and podcasts. Yeah. So yeah, glad you could make it.
Yes, and you're doing a really good job of what you are doing. It's a lot of people. A lot of people are talking about it. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. Awesome. Well, thank you for your support. I know you do support us and share our stuff and comment on all our things and talk to other people about it. Yep. But we might kick off with the questions. Do you want to go first, Timmy, or what do you want to?
I'll go first. So what was it like for you raising children? So obviously I'm a twin and you've got an older sister. So what was it like for you raising us kids?
Well, I can say in my time raising my children, I think was a lot easier than raising children today, because there wasn't so much crime or pressure on our kids as what there is on kids of today. Yeah.
A lot of a lot of distractions today. Do you think, compared to when we were all growing up? Do you think there's a lot more distractions, or they're a lot more accessible?
Yes, there probably is more distractions, but I think the peer pressure on kids today is nothing to what it was when my children were growing up.
Yeah.
Just in wearing a name brand shirt or a name brand pair of shoes.
Yeah.
It wasn't a big deal. My kids never had that. And
where did you buy your clothes? Where did you get your clothes from? Actually,
piping hot from Kmart, I think, or Big W,
Target,
places like that. I mean, I can remember Brianne when she bought her first very own Nike, I think it was, shirt.
You reckon
she
was
bought 14? That? Yes, she did. I don't want to know any different.
Yeah, so I guess I'm here. Yeah, obviously what you're saying is it was easier. You believe it's easier back then.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
And we could give our kids a smack.
Yeah.
We could discipline our children and not have to worry whether authorities were going to come down on us for giving him a good smack on the backside.
Yeah, I reckon Timmy would have copped a few. You reckon? Or what?
No, he was pretty lucky. He was didn't get as many as his brother.
We won't go into that. We'll park that
Next
one.
question.
Yeah, next question. And moving right along.
What advice would you give to an expecting mother?
An advice to an expecting mother.
Mm.
She hasn't had the baby yet, has she?
No, expecting.
Yeah, well, it's going to hurt. It's going to be the most painful thing you will ever do in your life. But once you got it in your arms, it's all forgotten about. But always, always be truthful with your children. Be open and be truthful. You know, I was always open with my kids. I mean, I did tell them a little white lie once. Will we go there, Tim?
Is this going to be touching on how children are born?
Yes.
I'm keen. Yeah, let's hit it. Let's hit it. Tell us. How did you tell it?
It's a good one.
The kids come home and they, my sister had a cesarean and she said, "Oh, see where the doctor cut the baby out of my belly." And Jake was like trying to lift me dress up, saying, "Show me where we got out. Show me where." I said, "You didn't come out like that." "How did we come out?" I said, "Oh, I spewed you up." It was the first thing that came to my mind. First thing. And so it was so that was the end of the story. They quite accepted that, and a couple of months later I was sick and I was in the toilet and I was vomiting and Timothy came in and he's rubbing my back saying, "Are you okay, Mummy? Are you going to born another baby?" And then it was they were about 11 and they'd been down to the farm with their grandparents and the cow had a calf.
Yeah.
So
and it didn't spew it up.
So Jake asked, we were going to town, Jake and Tim were in the back talking and they were like, "Are we, no, you ask. No, you ask." Anyway, Tim said, no, I think it was Jake said, "Mum, when a cow has a calf, does it come out of its bum or its fanny?" Excuse me. And I said,
all good.
I said,
It's all good. This is explicit content.
It comes out of their fanny. I said, all mammals give birth through their fannies. And Timothy looked at Jake and said, "We're mammals." And Jake said, "No, we're not." And Tim said, "We are." And Jake said, "Mum, are we mammals?" And I said, "Yes, we are." "We come out of your fanny?" "Yes, you did." "Oh, that's gross." So always be honest with your children.
Yeah.
And you know, like we might not always agree or be happy with what our children do, but you know, we can always talk about it and hopefully I know my children lied to me about what they done, but
No. Timmy would never have lied, eh?
No.
but you know, I mean, yes, I was always I think I was always pretty open with my kids about facts of life. And
I think that's huge when we, like, Mum, I think if I think about now there's, you know, when we think about like mental health and we talk about, you know, an 8 week to speak up, all that sort of stuff, I think that actually starts, you have alluded to, it starts in the home with being open, because to me, if you're not open with your kids, and as you've spoken, then your kids then learn to also not be open and close up and hide stuff, and which I think is going to happen anyway to some degree. But as parents, if we're open, it will encourage them to be open at some point or in some areas of their life, which I think that's huge advice, massive for incoming parents, and like Timmy's going to be one soon. Did I say that?
I hope so.
A few grandies on the way. Thanks. That's big. That's massive. I like that. Go, another question.
So, I've only got the one more question here, but obviously I've just said before that I was a twin brother. So, what was the biggest challenge raising twin boys?
Time consuming.
You could do everything double up.
So, you know, when you changed one nappy, it had to be two nappies. The boys usually poop together. So you change one poopy nappy, you change the next poopy nappy. You bath one baby, you bath the next baby. You dress one, you dress the next. You know, I mean,
I'm stressing out
I
already.
really think that twins, it was probably time consuming in that way. They were really good babies, just entertained each other. Sometimes in a good way, sometimes in a mischievous way. Jake used to, as I put a thing on Facebook the other day to him about changing the poopy nappies. Did you see that?
No, I didn't.
So Jake used to like to paint things.
He's an artist.
He loved
A
painting.
shit artist.
A shit artist. But no, I raising twins. I mean, I was very lucky because you were both very good babies. But compared to what your sister was, she was a terrible baby.
Shots fired! Shots fired!
But no. Serious. Yous were good babies. Yous were time consuming. Was probably my biggest challenge with yous, and probably because yous were very different. Jake, you could, if he'd done something wrong, you could smack him up one side and down the other, and he wouldn't give a shit.
I could see that.
You take his push bike or his football or his fishing rod or his cricket bat from him, and that would kill him. Whereas Timothy, you give him a cloud on the arm, and he'd be so upset for 2 days. So they were completely different natured children. But, you know,
Yeah. And so I guess what I'm hearing there is that you worked that out pretty quickly as a mother and realised that you had to parent them differently. Yeah. That's another big piece, I think, for parents who are people who are soon to be parents, is it's not one.
No child is the same.
Yeah, that's awesome. I've got a quick question actually, and it's around men. What as a mother, what would be, and who has raised sons, what would your advice be to an expecting father? And an expecting father and partner. So if he's a husband or boyfriend, what would your advice be as a mother to them?
Well, some advice is, you too are a parent, so you too should take some responsibility for looking after the child, changing it, bathing it, feeding it, if it's on bottle or whatever, and the same with housework. You know, if you both teamwork. That's right.
Yep.
Teamwork is very important.
Yep.
Very.
So I'm hearing like shared responsibility.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because as a mother, you burn out very quickly if you don't have someone to help you. And sometimes a mother just needs to have a few hours to herself too, to go and sit down without a baby or a child or whatever, and have a cuppa with a friend, or go and have a fingernails done, or something.
Time.
Personal, yes, a bit of personal time to herself.
Yep.
So there you have it, men. If you're listening, if you're not a dad yet, but you're going to be, or even I think it's good advice in terms of even just being a partner.
That's right.
Without having like that kind of transcends across all parts of being in a relationship, is showing, being supportive, making sure that other person has their time.
And I think especially these days, where most cases, both partners, both mother and father, or girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever, both work.
Yes.
Back in my day, I didn't work, so I would not have expected Ken to be doing the washing or vacuuming the floors or doing anything like that. I mean, there was occasions where Ken come home from work, the clothes were still on the line because I'd had a issue in the afternoon or been doing
Jake and
something.
Tim has shit through all the house.
Yeah, that's right. Painted the carpets.
Painted the walls.
And he would take the clothes off the line. I mean, I didn't expect that. That wasn't his job. But if they were there and I hadn't got to do them or whatever, because I did wash quite a few clothes every day.
Yeah. Well, I actually have a question there that says, how many pooey nappies do you reckon you changed in your time between the three kids?
Oh, gosh. Well, I tried to get them out of nappies as soon as I could.
Yeah.
Well, nappies, I don't know about pooey, but I always use cloth nappies with my children. So when I had the twins, it would be nothing to have 30 cloth nappies flapping in the breeze on the line, along with, I remember one day in winter, because we lived in Gympie, which we used to call it Frog's Holler. It was that cold. And so to put the boys to bed, they would have been, going on for the 2 in the September. So putting them to bed at night, they'd have their nappy on with long stockings, and then a pair of tracksuit pants and a singlet, a T-shirt, a skivvy, another jumper over the top, because they kicked their blankets off. So And there was 38 articles, winter layers of clothes on the line between the 2 boys.
Oh, wow.
Because Ken was like, and because they were at the stage where they give them a drink out of a cup, they spill it, so they get wet chest. You had to change it because it's so cold. In Gympie, you'd start taking your clothes off, you'd taking a layer off at 2:00 in the afternoon and putting them back on at 3:30. So yeah, I did quite a lot of nappies.
It's actually funny you talk about cloth nappies. So I remember my mum with cloth nappies. They're not a thing anymore.
No.
Are they?
No. You can get them, I think.
Yeah, you can.
But no one uses them.
No, and I remember mum, she'd always have cloth nappies. I actually don't remember there being any. So when my little sister was born, I don't remember disposables at all. It wasn't sort of till a bit later on that, well, I guess when I had kids and that. But I remember mum was like, you need to use cloth nappies. I'm like, well, whatever.
Yeah. I mean, I know.
You told Brianne to get cloth when Nikita was born.
I bought cloth nappies for Brianne. And she did use them for Nikita with those 3
with
clips.
The clip, that clips. Yeah.
But, she never with the boys. But, that's all. The only time the boys had a disposable nappy on their bottoms was at night time. Yeah. Because it kept the moisture away from them. But, yeah. And
do you think, I just had a thought, and you made some reference to it earlier about the roles have changed in the modern in today's day and age. You said you stayed at home. Nowadays, both parents work. Do you think that? I guess that's the reason why cloth nappies faded, because there's actually no one at home to watch the fucking things.
Yeah. That like it is, and I think it's changed for the worse. Our society today has changed for the worse.
Yeah, sure. Tell us.
My generation was the lucky generation, I suppose. Whereas we could buy a house. We bought land and built a house, and it cost us $73,500. You're flat out buying a block of land for that now.
Well, people are spending that on. People are going into debt to buy cars.
Yeah.
Who don't have a house, but they're going into debt for $70,000.
And this is why also we've got children, because both parents got to work, so the children have to go into care after, before school, whatever the case is. It's too much on the children as well, I believe. And the parents, it's so easy to zip through takeaway on the way home to grab on food rather than to cook a meal. I mean, you could remember we would have takeaway Friday night.
Yeah. Yeah, but that comes down to both parents working type thing now as well. If it's just easier to pick it up on the way home.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's easier, but it's not good for the kids.
Oh, no.
Because kids of today, exceptions for your girl, for Jazara, kids don't like vegetables.
Yeah.
Number one. My kids ate everything that was nearly everything that was put in front of them.
Man, I'd get flogged.
Yeah.
If I didn't eat my peas. I remember my sister
two choices, take it or leave it.
Yeah, 100%. My sister used to sit there for hours, man. I used to think, you just want to get out of doing the fucking dishes. But, you had, like you said, you have to eat everything that's on your plate. Yeah. And I think we
didn't have choices. If you were hungry, you ate it. Gagged on it and ate it.
And ate it, chewed it outside, and ate it again. Yes. Yeah, I think it's definitely changed. The landscape has changed. Society has changed in just in that whole family dynamic. Something that I actually thought about while I was at work this week was around family dinners. That is a rarity, I think, amongst. Like to have
actually sitting at a
table.
Yeah,
we have that much going on.
Yep.
Because I was just taking, I guess, an inventory of what I've got going on personally, like in terms of developing business, work, parent, all the blah blah. And I realised that I actually can't remember the last time I sat down as a family and actually sat for the whole time. You'll be sitting. And then you've got, the kid's got to go off to here, so let's have dinner. You take them to that training.
I'll do this, yeah.
I'll do this. I'll wash. You go do that. It's it's very different
It
now.
is,
Yeah.
it is. I mean, we never even had the TV on while we ate, did we? Well, we couldn't see the TV when my children were growing up.
No.
We didn't even have, when I was growing up, we never had TV
Yeah.
on. But the kids, my children never sat on the lounge chair. Maybe Friday nights, if football was on and it was takeaway night or something, I can't remember. But the other times, we all sat at the dinner table.
Yeah.
That was to sit at the dinner table and eat your dinner.
I miss it personally.
Mm.
As an adult, I actually miss.
Yeah.
I don't miss my childhood, but I miss sitting at the table and just having a meal
A
and
family
talking
dinner.
A family dinner and talking, yeah.
Yeah,
And
I don't think
you
there's any
know
reason
what?
why I can't have it. I probably need to be more intentional about it now, knowing how busy our schedule. Like I look at schedules and I just think it's flat out.
Yeah. And like kids, when I was growing up, we sat at the table. My father always sat at the head of the table. The only time we were allowed to speak at the table was to pass me the salt, please, or pass me the sauce, please. Or if we were spoken to by our mother or father, asked a question, then we got to answer it. But that was the time that my father sat there and said, "So, son, how was your day at school today?" And he went around all the kids and we told our day at school or what we learned or we made a new friend or we saw a snake going into the bushes, whatever it was and it was family time to sit around and talk that.
Something I think that's,
And I mean, but we didn't have mobile phones or anything else.
Yeah.
I know myself now how much my mobile phone is in my hand playing games or whatever.
Yeah.
It's not good.
No, I'm the same. I've actually, Felina, she's now got a phone, and ever since she's linked to my phone, and I can control the time and whatnot, and the apps, and you can actually categorize how much time for each app, blah blah blah. Since doing that with her, it's actually made me really conscious, and I'm thinking about doing it to myself, to be honest. About shutting apps down,
Screen time.
Yeah, at least if I don't shut it down, and I might be doing, at least it triggers a reminder in me to shut the phone down or take some time away from it.
Yeah,
because I think it's one of the big things where we're losing.
We're losing our children to it. I know. I can see what my grandchildren. I didn't lose my children to mobile phones because they didn't have them.
I played outside.
Yeah, I lost them to sport outside. But the grandchildren, I can see, technology and mobile phones and computer games and what it's done to them.
Yeah, I think there's lots of work that can be done, even like as parents and as a parent, around educating, children with technology and the use of smartphones and how much we use it and how to use it, in a positive way. I think one of the big things for me personally is because I work so much on my phone, that becomes so now I have to set
your tools.
Yeah, I actually have to set time in my calendar for that scrolling time. So I'm allowed that time to just surf the net and look around. Otherwise, it becomes work and surfing are like the same thing. There's no difference. But anyway, that's a bit off topic. This is about mothers.
Yeah, it is about mothers. Yeah. And I can say, cherish your mother while you got her.
Yeah.
Because tomorrow's never promised. I was only 11 when my mother passed away. So always cherish your mother and father while you got them.
Yeah.
Yep.
I like that. I think we'll close with that. I was going to ask you for closing words, but I like that. Cherish your mother and father.
Yep.
Yeah, good. That's very wise words.
Even you mightn't get on with them or whatever the case is, but we only have one mother and one father, biological. We can have lots of dads and mums and whatnot, and grandparents or aunts and uncles, but you're only given one biological mother and father. And hopefully you all get on with them and cherish them while you can.
Yeah, copy that. Wise words. Well, we're going to wrap up the show. Thank you very much for coming on.
You're
So we're
welcome.
grateful, really grateful for you coming on.
Yeah, yep, definitely grateful. Thanks for taking some time out of your day to have a chat with us.
Always, anytime.
Righto. Thanks, fam, for listening. Stay tuned for the next episode.